Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. It's a tragic one, man. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So let's change up the content for the day. You know, I still got a video coming. We're not going to stop hollering baby Manuel till the wheels fall off. That's what we're on right here on my channel. We're not ever going to forget about a baby who's out there alone, whether he's alive or dead. Doesn't matter to me, man. He's alone, and I'm here. I'm here, and I'm not going to stop. But let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, man, who was tragically assassinated yesterday in Utah at the university. Now, I know you guys are watching a lot of the news feeds. Everyone's talking about it, right? And there's a lot of people that disliked Charlie Kirk for their own reasoning. I understand that. I didn't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. He was a very intelligent individual, very well spoken, educated himself. I respect it. He was actually a college or high school dropout that educated himself and found himself in a position to start, his own organization that was meant to enlighten people and educate people, especially students at these universities. Now, this wasn't Charlie Kirk's first merry-go-round, his first rodeo. He had been going on tours to college campuses for years now and built up a big fan base, built up a big base of support. And whether you agree with him, his antics or not, a man lost his life yesterday tragically, and there's a manhunt going. Okay, yesterday when this was brought to attention to me, man, Dubs gave me a phone call. He was like, hey, guess what? Charlie Kirk was just shot. Immediately, because I know who Charlie Kirk is, just with my political stance, right? And I hate to get into it. I'm a people person. I believe in whatever's going to help the people, whatever's going to give us more options and more opportunities. That's where I stand. Doesn't matter if it's Democrat, doesn't matter if it's Republican. I don't care about any of that, man. I'm a bipartisan individual. I kind of land somewhere in the middle, but I lean a little bit more conservative just because, and my conservatism means just work for what you get. I'm a believer in Christ, and I'm a believer in just work for what you get. I don't believe in handouts. I believe there are situations where people do need help, and I'm all for that. But I'm also a believer in able-bodied people, not just Americans, but anybody. Get up, get out, and get something. Grind, work, do what I do. Hustle, right? Don't hustle people for what they have, but get out there and move fast with a purpose. Work. Charlie Kirk had different types of thinking than I did, but I agreed with a lot of what he said. When someone is educated and someone is trying to give you game, when someone is trying to enlighten you, not steer you in their direction, but enlighten you, you got to respect it. So I respect anyone who does it on both sides of the podium, right? On both sides of the fence. It doesn't matter to me if they're, like I said, Democrat or Republican or any of that, as long as what they're saying is not challenging to myself, as long as what they're saying is to help people like myself in my situations or anyone else, right? You can't deny that Charlie Kirk made a big impact on social media. Charlie Kirk made a big impact on the White House. He made a big impact on these college campuses with these students. A debate, a friendly debate, a respectful debate, right, is always a good thing. Everyone has a lot of ideas. That's the great thing about this country is ideas. We could all put our ideas out there. Now, don't get it twisted. Charlie Kirk was confrontational. If you could not outduel him in a debate, he was going to let you know. But what doesn't hurt you only makes you stronger. If you have someone politically or on any spectrum that could debate with you on certain circumstances or situations that are going on that affect everybody, You want the strongest, hardest person. You want people at their best. Charlie Kirk was that, man. He was a master debater, self-taught, and it just was what it was, right? He was murdered yesterday, assassinated in cold blood at the University of Utah. The reasoning behind it, we don't know yet. But I watched a lot of the news casts that are going on. A lot of the news stations are covering this, of course. Today is 9/11. Today is a day of grieving. Today is a day of remembering. Today is a day that all Americans come together, especially law enforcement, man, to remember the first responders, the people that died tragically on 9/11, and just to remember a day of dark desolation, right? And see where our future has taken us and how things have changed. Now, I'm a firm believer in the world that we live in right now is fucked up. Okay, excuse my language, earmuff it if you don't like it, but I'm just pretty much know how to preserve this on my channel. I don't like the world I live in, but I'm going to live in it to the fullest, right? I think, man, a lot of the opportunities that we once had are starting to deteriorate right before our eyes. This is supposed to be the land of milk and honey. We got plenty of leche, but we're running out of honey, so regardless of what you believe, regardless of who you support, that I pay that no, never mind. I support the people, and I want to see the children first and foremost, and everyone else, man, have a safe environment to thrive in. I want to see more opportunity for jobs. I don't agree with illegal immigration, but also at the same time, I don't believe in tearing families apart. I'm not a sellout, an Uncle Tom, a coconut, or any of these different fucking titles people would give people that support, the Trump administration or anything like that. I don't support any administration. I support the people. Whatever the people want, I'm going to rock with if it's vetted, if it's going to help, right? If there's people that are going against the grain for whatever their weird fucking reasons are, I'm not going to rock with that. I believe everybody is equal. Everybody should get due process. Everybody should not be judged based upon their pigmentation of their skin, their color, their race, their religion, their sexual preference. None of that. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm pro this or pro that. I'm pro people, man. I want people to live and people to prosper. That's it. Charlie Kirk, I believe, man, he played his side of the agenda, and someone disliked that. But that doesn't mean you kill an innocent person in cold blood in front of a gang of young adults. There's kids in that, and kids to me, college age students, young adults. You do not murder a person in cold blood over political beliefs, over, you just are not feeling what he's saying. What does that change? You took an innocent man away from his wife and his 2 children for what? Who wins there? It's tragic. And it's tragic that this person only wanted what was good for America and for people, whether you chose to rock with him or not. And there's people yesterday in the live, man, that me and Dubs did, and they're totally against this guy. But why would you cheer in the streets or cheer someone that died, no matter what? Why would you go online and say, oh, who's next? And these different types of things people are doing, man, that just shows how crazy and how torn and how torn apart this world is, man. How people, there's so much, everyone's trying to play a side here. And usually the people don't care, man. They don't care about, a man's family and what his family's going through and what, all those students that were there, the tragedy that they've seen, it's going to affect them. That's the future of America. That's the future of our people. And they had to see, this man who, whether they liked him or not, get his neck ripped open in front of them by an assassin's bullet. Now, I've been watching some of the updates. There is a manhunt going on. When the news first broke, me and Dubs went live because it was something that was happening in real time. And there was a lot of people saying that, Charlie Kirk was dead. Charlie Kirk was this, he was that. And we hadn't had it confirmed yet. And there was nothing saying that we could, nothing saying for sure this is what happened. We did know he was shot. We did know where he was shot, but we didn't know who he was shot by, the reason, and we still don't know the reasoning behind it. It could be some fanatics crazy thinking, or it could be something even more personal. We don't know at this point. But what law enforcement does know is 1, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. 2, he is dead. That is a fact. When I seen that video, in real time during the live, I knew just by watching that unedited video, that's it. Charlie Kirk was dead. I didn't, I voiced it on the live, my belief. was that there was no way to come back from that. And I was absolutely right. Anyone who's seen that video, it's not something that I want you to see. If you're squeamish, it was pretty horrific, man. Probably one of the most horrific videos I've seen in a long time, and it just was what it was. Now, when it comes to the investigation, they immediately arrested an older gentleman. He was in his 70s. I'm not quite sure of his name because there's been several different names given. He was just a person of interest. This could be a person that maybe had made threats against Charlie Kirk in the past, or maybe was in defiance of what law enforcement was trying to do. They tackled him. They had him on the ground. They handcuffed him. He was released a couple hours later as just a person of interest, but not the suspect in the shooting. Okay, since then, subsequently, since this has all happened, they have video, a lot of audio, a lot of different coverage, and they have tracked this man, this person, right? They have actually camera footage of him getting on top of the roof, running across the roof, and after the shooting occurred, jumping off the roof. He ran through a residential neighborhood, ditched the gun in a wooded area. They have recovered the firearm. It's a bolt action firearm, a 30-06, from what I'm hearing. They have recovered prints, forearm prints, palm prints. And they got clear video and clear pictures of this man. So they know exactly who they're looking for at this point. It's just a matter of time before they catch him. And then we will find the motivation behind why this happened. There's a lot of people saying a lot of different things. Oh, the motivation was from the other side of the aisle. We all know that Charlie Kirk was pro-Republican. He was a Republican. He was a Christian. He was a family man. And he rocked the way he rocked. Doesn't mean he has to die. Okay, but he has. Now, immediately, a lot of people took to social media and, of course, big time media, blaming one side of the aisle, blaming the Democratic Party for being involved in this. I'm not here to play the blame game. That's not my thing. I don't know why this man was killed. I know there was a lot of people with a lot of motivation to do it, though. He was getting death threats for years. And that's what this world has come to. People can't just respectfully debate. People can't respect your idealisms and your ideas and what you got to say. People are at the point now in this world that if they don't agree, they want you gone. And I believe, man, without even knowing why, the motivation behind this, it had something to do with someone not liking Charlie Kirk because of his stance, whether it was on abortion, whether it was on, mass shootings or whatever. The actual last words that Charlie said, he was asked a question, and it was about 60 seconds before the shot rang out. It was one shot, one kill, right? So this guy actually was probably trained, and we're going to get to that right now. But he was asked about mass shootings, and he was asked, man, how many transgenders have been involved in mass shootings? And he said, too many. He was then asked again about mass shootings by the same student, to which he replied, they asked him about gangs, and to which he replied about, gang violence. And then he was shot. The placement of the shot was in the left side of the neck. And if you watch the video, it looks like that's exactly the placement that this person wanted to put. Could this be a symbolic in shut your mouth, rest your neck? I hate to say it like that, but can that be what it is? We're going to stop you from talking. I talked to Dubs about it. He said, man, they could have aimed at the head, the face, or whatever for the kill, right? And it could have been anything, the trajectory, the wind, the whatever, the slight movement that threw him off. But I myself think that it was just aimed directly at that neck for a symbolic reason. It's a sad, sad day. When a person, man, who's pretty popular, whether you like him or not, pretty popular, and that doesn't change anything. We have like baby Manuel missing still. We have the school shooting that happened as well yesterday. That's kind of getting glossed over because of the shooting of Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to gloss over it, man. That right there just in itself is a tragic story, because we're just getting over a Catholic school shooting that happened not even a month ago, right? I mean, it's something every day. This world is torn. This world is divided, especially the United States, very divided. And people are taken to the streets with violence now. I mean, I seen people in Seattle, Washington yesterday with my own eyes with big cardboard cutouts saying, I'm glad Charlie Kirk is gone. Who's next? Let's get this person or that person. And it's crazy. It's crazy that people on 9/11, on a day of mourning for our country and what we went through, right? People are divided and they're out there in the streets screaming and laughing that a man is killed, that a man is taken away from his family. What kind of bullshit is that? I'm not a political person like that. I believe in what I believe in, and I'm for whoever has the right ideas. I don't care what side of the aisle he's on. I don't play that shit. I'm kind of independent, but lean a little bit over here. Charlie Kirk was not my cup of tea. Okay. I was not going to seek out his content. But if I came across it, I listened because I always listen to education. I always strive for education. I was taught that, and I'll continue that, right? You never know what you're going to learn. And the guy was very educated. So I learned a lot. Did I agree at all times? No. Did I disagree at all times? No. But I wasn't upset enough to want to see that man killed. Whoever did this, they already know who you are. It's only a matter of time. I believe within the couple hours today, they're going to track this man down and get him if he hasn't taken his life. It's only a matter of time, and this person does need to be caught. This person does need to be held accountable. Justice needs to be had. Just like we need justice for Promise and baby Manuel, we need justice for Charlie Kirk. Whether you liked him or not, what type of human being are you to celebrate in the streets that a man is killed in front of a gang of kids? What kind of man or a person are you, to celebrate it in the streets when someone is assassinated? Back in the days, it used to be a very big deal. The country would come together, no matter who they were, and be like, hey, we're not going to stand for this shit. Because everything trickles down. If we allow this to become normal, to be normalized, to be the norm, right? Then what's going to happen? It's going to get worse. These people are going to believe that they can get away with this type of political assassinations and these type of assassinations of characters. And it's going to trickle down and get worse and worse and worse. It's already happened with school shootings. We're starting to see a lot more. And again, I don't know the motivation behind it other than hatred. Hatred's always a clear-cut favorite, right? Hatred is always the motivation. People hate on people. I've gotten death threats myself, or else's. Can't wait to catch up to you. Can't wait to see you like Savage Studios. I can't wait to see you like this guy or that guy or this guy. What do? I continue to do me in hopes that, hey, God got my back, and when it's my time, it's my time. But there are literally people out there that are such haters and have so much hatred in the heart. And then people that are so dramatic or love drama that they want to see these things, and then they just move on with their lives until it directly affects them or their family, and then it's a different story. Then they feel some type of way. Everybody will be touched in this world with drama, okay? We were all touched yesterday with the person of Charlie Kirk's stature being killed in front of a gang of college students. It's upsetting. It's sad. I hope that this person that they catch, they lock him up under the dirtiest, darkest cell that they got. Okay. I watched a press conference with law enforcement out there. The feds are involved, the FBI, of course. And this guy, from what he was saying, they pretty much know who did this. Now, there's people that hated Charlie Kirk just based upon who he supported, because he supported the president. We don't all agree with the president all the time, but you can't deny the fact that he's the president, man. You accept it already. You got to accept it. And you can run around and say, well, he's not my president. Well, in theory, but at the end of the day, this is the man who was voted in, and we just got to just stay vigilant, right? And rock the way we rock. Look, no matter who Charlie Kirk supported, I support Charlie Kirk, because that is a man that was torn away from his family too soon. He was 31 years old. He was born in October 1993. I believe it was October 14th. And was taken away from us on September 10th, a day before 9/11, 2025. Gone too soon. Now, you can come on my video right now and say you didn't like him because he wasn't for the raza, or he wasn't for these people, or he wasn't for that people. I don't care who he was for or who he was against. Okay? He didn't kill you. He didn't kill the raza. He didn't kill transgender people. He didn't kill anyone. If he outspoke you or misspoke to you and you didn't like that, you had plenty of ample opportunity to debate that man. He showed up and pulled up to every university across America and gave everyone opportunity to say what they had to say. If you didn't like what he had to say, you have the option of turning your back on him and walking away. It's just that simple. If you disagree with something, you got to agree to disagree and bounce. This man did not need his life took or taken. Whatever that person thought in their deranged mind, because you got to be deranged to do this, whatever that person thought they were shutting down, now someone else is just going to step up and take his place. It will never stop, man. It will never stop. In order to stop violence, you have to think. You have to think within yourself, man. What is it going to accomplish? In this case, it accomplished nothing but removing a young man away from his beautiful family because you didn't like his political stance or what he said. It greatly affected you and hurt your heart. Well, that shows who the coward and who the fucking, the person is that can't. You're not a man, nor a woman, man, if you have to take someone's life over a disagreement. It's just what it is, man. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Whether you like him or not, whether you're going to unsubscribe from my channel or not because I'm supporting him, I support anyone in the face of tragedy and death. And that's just a fact, man. Hey, hashtag justice for baby Emmanuel and for baby Promise. We're going to keep it going right here. And rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think. Bang, bang.